Hey guys, what's going on? Jake here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about basically just brainstorming the ideas for Sceptile to be put into Super Smash Bros. So this is kind of like, I guess, not a sequel and not necessarily a part 2, but it goes in the same lines as far as like Sora goes from the video that I did about Sora being in Smash Bros. And kind of analyzing the possibility of him being in the game and moveset wise and things like that. So in today's video, I thought I would do Sceptile. Now, Sceptile was a character that people thought would be put into Super Smash Bros. 4. Obviously, that didn't happen, and then once Decidueye rolled around for Pokemon Sun and Moon, a lot of people thought that Decidueye would get announced for a new Smash game or something, and yet that didn't happen either. So it's kind of not necessarily in the air, but a lot of people are expecting one of these two grass starter Pokemon to be added to the roster for Smash Bros. For the Switch particularly, so I figured that I'd give my thoughts on it. So I did a little bit of research, and when I say a little bit, I mean one simple Google search for moveset ideas, and I actually found I think it's a fan game called Super Smash Bros. Combat. I've never heard of this before. The only fan games that I was aware of was Crusade and Super Smash Flash 2. So I guess this is another one, a new one. I mean, whatever you want to call it. But it actually has a full fledged moveset here for Sceptile. Now I don't know if they like ripped Sceptile from like Lucario as a base, or like what they did, because I've seen a couple people do that for like mods and stuff. But so basically I'm just going to kind of skim here and there through their moveset ideas, give my own, and then give the possibility. So actually I'll reverse that order. I'm going to talk about the possibility first. So for Sceptile is kind of in an odd case, because in terms of like fans wanting it and representation, it really does fit right on par with Decidueye. And these two Pokemon are actually my favorite two Pokemon. Like before I think Diamond and Pearl even came out, I had established that Sceptile was my favorite Pokemon. And then Diamond and Pearl came out, and then Staraptor was my second favorite. And then when Sun and Moon came out, and the whole starter leaks and everything kind of surfaced, and I was kind of on the fence with Decidueye, because he goes from this kind of humble Rowlet to a Archer. So I was always kind of on the fence, but after given a day or two to process and realize that he looks awesome, I now pair Decidueye and Sceptile as my all-time two favorite Pokemon, with Staraptor right underneath them. So it really is hard for me to determine which Pokemon out of these two deserves to be in Smash Brothers. I mean, if I could have my way, I'd probably pick both, but I know that that's not the case, and nor is it necessarily likely. But I do expect at least one of them to make the roster. Sceptile just probably do. I mean, he's been he's been around longer, so they kind of have more of an idea of what to do with him. Just because, familiarity, and over the years, it's, the idea has just kind of been planted. But with Decidueye, it's not necessarily as fresh. Or no, excuse me, the idea isn't as thought out. Not necessarily saying that there isn't a not necessarily saying that there isn't a well thought out idea for Decidueye. But there's for Decidueye, there's more of a chop, let's think of this right now feeling, which could possibly cause the character as a whole to be felt like it was rushed and things like that. So I guess that's kind of my stance between Decidueye or Sceptile. But as for Sceptile's actual stance, I could see it going really well, more in the favor of not, or excuse me, more. I favor more in Sceptile being in Smash Brothers than not being in Smash Brothers. Either as a playable character or as a Pokeball summon, whatever you want to call it, capsule thing. So, in terms of like, I guess movesets here, Super Smash Bros. Combat has his neutral attack being Sceptile slashes the blades on his arms. Forward tilt, he headbutts forward, kind of like Pikachu, I guess. I don't necessarily think as drastic, I think it would be, I think would kind of be the word. Up tilt, Sceptile stands on his hands and kicks upwards. Down tilt, Sceptile smacks his tail into the ground, which is really cool, but that's kind of like, his tail is pretty huge, so that being just your regular down tilt would be kind of, I think, a bit too strong. Maybe like a sweep, kind of like how Ike does, I guess. Dash attack, spits out seeds from his mouth which flies forward before the seeds disappear. So I guess kind of like Mega Man? Forward smash, Sceptile charges up before slashing with his arms. Up smash, slashes with his blades above his head. Down smash, Sceptile swings his tail in front of him and then behind. So like Mario. Okay, so they just kind of reversed the order I had. Neutral aerial, swings around with his tail outstretched, so I'm guessing in like a circle. The forward aerial slashes in front of him, kind of like Sheik, I guess. Up aerial straightens head up first. Straightens head up first. Up head first. For an up aerial. I'm guessing he just kind of like does a Luigi, maybe? Down aerial. Sceptile goes down head first into the ground. What is this? Grabs with his hand, really. Pummel, I'm guessing that's like when you're grabbing and you attack. Sceptile slashes the opponent with his blades, okay. Forward throw, kicks the opponent forward, I guess like Cloud maybe. Back throw, Sceptile bats the opponent away with his tail, sweet. Up throw, Sceptile headbutts the opponent upwards into the air. Down throw, whacks his tail straight into the opponent, sweet. Floor attack, oh, so I guess like the down throw would kind of be like Mewtwo's maybe. Floor attack, Sceptile spins around with his tail outstretched, whacking any opponent nearby. And an edge attack, Sceptile jumps up in the air and slashes with one of his blades. So those are all of the standard attacks, like, you know, neutrals and stuff. So this, we're now getting into the special attacks. So the standard special they have here for Bullet Seed, where he just spits a barrage of seeds at opponents in front of him. The seeds are rather weak individually, but when high amounts hit opponents, they can be great for racking up percentage. So it doesn't seem like that they have it to stun. Personally, I think that it would kind of stun, being more resembling to Mega Man, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Dual Chop, Sceptile brings forward before slashing twice. So this is, okay, so these special moves are more so like taken off of Pokemon attacks. Dual Chop, not the move I would have actually have gone with. I think Leaf Blade kind of works best there, but who knows? Or actually, I think Leaf Blade, yeah, Leaf Blade for a side special, maybe. I mean, they have a couple moves here, too, that kind of work best, too. But anyway, up special Acrobatics, which is really cool, because normally Sceptile isn't associated with flying-type attacks. I know that he can learn Acrobatics and Aerial Ace. And both of those moves actually do, they can give Sceptile that kind of, like, aerial boost. Like, game plan, maneuver, whatever you want to call it. It wouldn't be too far-fetched to think of Vine Whip, though, and kind of do what Zero Suit does as well. But granted, that's not nearly as, I guess, there's less to go off of in terms of what Sceptile could actually do in the air by comboing with Vine Whip. Unless you just want to completely rip it from Zero Suit, but that would include the regular aerials and stuff, too. So down special, Grass Knot. Sceptile plants a trap on the ground while remains there until it is hit. When an opponent touches the trap, they are tied up in the grass and must break free. But Sceptile can come over and deliver an attack to send them flying while they try. Only one of these traps can be on stage at a time. So kind of like just a bomb, I guess, from like Link or whoever else. Final Smash, Leaf Storm. Sceptile flies to the side of the stage and begins firing. Final smashes aren't really that important because, you know, for glory and stuff. So special set B, so these are two different ideas of specials they have, I guess, unless you can alter them in some way. But special set B, a standard special being Mega Drain, which is pretty cool because it could kind of, you know, gain his own health. X Scissor for his side special. That's a lot better than Dual Chop in my opinion. Just because it's, I guess, more related to Sceptile. Again, I think Leaf Blade would have been a better choice. Although I guess Leaf Blade could just be like a charged up smash attack, but who knows. Up special Grass Pledge, which is really weird because Grass Pledge normally, like, you know, the grass comes out of the ground, so how would that... Not necessarily sure how that would work, you know, in the air. I think really Acrobatics would just be better. Down special being Screech, which paralyzes all opponents caught in the sound wave after using it. So kind of like Mewtwo's Confusion or Disable attack, I guess. I don't think that that's really necessary. Final Smash being Outrage. He Mega Evolves and begins roaring. So yeah, he would then gain the Dragon typing and all. Okay, so for taunts, another animation, side taunt, Sceptile takes the stick out of his mouth. Oh, I forgot he had that. And twirls it before putting it back in. That's pretty cool. Up taunt, spits the seeds out, cleans it with his hands, and then puts it back in his mouth. Okay. Down taunt, he lies down and promptly begins taking a nap. So he does a Slay King and DDD, I guess. Victory animation number 1 takes the stick out of his mouth, snaps it in half, and dear lord, holy crap! Victory animation 2, Sceptile lounges under a tree before grinning. Dude, these grins kind of make it sound like Sceptile's like satanic or something. Victory animation 3, he performs acrobatics before falling onto the ground and looks up, smirking. Like, dear lord. Victory theme, which is a flourished version of the gym victory theme from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and they're given a YouTube link there for it, but I think I know it. So Sceptile was the first newcomer character revealed for combat and was revealed alongside the Mii, Isaac, and Rayman, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I had never heard of Super Smash Bros. Combat before, so that's pretty cool. But as far as these moves and stuff go, I really do think that a lot of them were spot on. I don't necessarily... I dislike the fact that Leaf Blade isn't present in any of these, since Leaf Blade is his signature move. Like how Blaze Cake is Blazikins and Muddy Water is Swampert. It's not here. So that's kind of irking me as a huge Sceptile fan. Yeah, so concerning other things, I feel like Sceptile could probably be... I feel like that he'll have the clip on the wall ability that Sheik and Lucario and Bayo and them have, being able to stick to a wall, because Sceptile is kind of, to me at least, it seems like he's not referenced but inspired by, you know, a ninja of some kind, kind of like Shiftry but less noticeable in my opinion. So I feel like that he could, you know, clinch on the walls like that. I think that he would be kind of a mix between like a speedy character and a powerhouse too, so kind of like Ike, but I can't tell if he'll be faster or about the same speed. I definitely don't think that he'll be slower than Ike. But in terms of like weight and speed and power, I really do want to say that he resembles that of Ike in Smash 4. I think that that's a really good average to put Sceptile at. And then I think Decidueye too would be a really cool idea to talk about for another video and how he'll move around and whatnot. The up special for acrobatics that they had was a really good idea. Personally, I don't think I would have thought of that, because the Vine Whip idea isn't necessarily the best, since it does require that, or it doesn't necessarily require, but it works best when you combo, seen with Zero Suit, and that I mean, I don't necessarily think Sceptile would be more aerial or more combo focused like that. I think Sceptile would just kind of be more of a hit and run kind of guy like Ike. But hey, I mean, if they do make Sceptile more combo oriented or based, whatever you want to call it, like Z-Suit, then that would, you know, totally be fine. Personally, if Sceptile were to be in the game, it probably would be one of my mains purely for nostalgic reasons. Currently, my number 1 main is Toon Link, so I'm kind of pushing for that character to go through Smash 4, since I know that Breath of the Wild Link and whatnot kind of does question, you know, how Nintendo wants to represent Zelda in Smash now. But anyway, so I definitely do think that Sceptile has pretty good potential, especially when you consider the variety that his Pokemon moves have, ranging from fighting to grass to dragon to flying, particularly those. And then of course you have moves like, you know, like Pound and whatnot, but those are kind of just dumb. So I really do think that Sceptile shows a lot of promise. On a scale of like 1 to 10, how I think Sceptile would fit in, or his chance particularly, I want to say he has a chance of like maybe a 9 or 8.5 or so, but the likelihood of it is really just up in the air, because I mean, Decidueye is such a good competitor for Sceptile. Decidueye is more, not necessarily well known, but a lot of the more people who play Pokemon currently, like of now, will kind of recognize or look more towards Decidueye rather than Sceptile, just because of how much new Decidueye is. And of course, that's not to say that a Pokemon from the next generation won't be in the game. Generation 8, I believe, is what we're on. So those are kind of my thoughts for Sceptile. I mean, I'll definitely go over Decidueye another time, probably before the Invitational. But I think there are a couple other Pokemon that deserve to talk about as well. I know that Incineroar is kind of a popular one, and frankly, I don't like Incineroar much. I think here's the thing, like, there was the whole controversy about having another firefighting starter since we've already gotten 3. And Emboar was just kind of dumb. But Incineroar isn't a firefighting, I get that. He's a fire dark. But he looks like he's a firefighting. So, to me, I still kind of have that cringe of firefighting when I see Incineroar, just because of how much fighting inspired he is. I mean, he's a wrestler, for Pete's sake. So it really is reasonable to assume that he's a fighting type when that's kind of the thing that they're going for. But anyway, this was obviously for Sceptile, so thank you all for watching. I'd love to hear your ideas and thoughts and stuff about potential Sceptile ideas and stuff that I talked about too in the comments below. So that aside, guys, this is Jake logging out. Peace.